This is the Profit with Nick Black. It's time to chit chat. You know nothing about blockchain. We here to fix that. You want the news on them new stocks? This where you get that. So go and grab you a nice chair. It's time to sit back and talk to Profit. Hey, hey, you talking to the Profit? Hey, hey. We talking condos and nice clothes and dropping Lambos. I remember them night codes, we couldn't stand those. We tried to drive on them house roads, but had to stay low. Now there's solutions to hard bills we couldn't pay for. I talked to Profit to get some profit, we couldn't change the top. If it's a stock and I need a cop it, I wait for him to drop it. Ain't no option, let's get it poppin', we chillin' in the drop. I need some crypto, put it in my pocket, by any means I rock. This is the Profit with Nick Black, it's time to chit chat. You know nothing about blockchain, we here to fix that. You want the news on them new stocks, this where you get that. So go and grab you a nice chair. It's time to sit back and talk to Profit. Hey, hey, you talking to the Profit. Hey, hey, you talking to the Profit.
Buenos dias. What is this? Oh, let's see. Jerry will be here with us any second. But before he gets here, man, I'm going to show you about this lick so you guys know that Alex and I are deep, taint deep. Yes, deeper than balls deep, taint deep in the Topps cards because is the first series. There's only one number one. And so we went kind of deep. So I'm going to show you guys what I did because everybody's like, did you do it? Did you not? Do you just talk your trash? Okay. No, I'm going to show you what we did because it keeps track of everything on Atomic Hub. So I've got a gazillion of these cards. I bought, I think what it was is Alex and we got 11 or 12 of the premium packs. Now on day one, the premium packs were $100, but you could only get one. And the regular packs were $10. Well, by the time we started buying, the regular packs were $25 to $30. So they'd done a 3X. The premium packs were $300. Well, $250 to $300. So we bought as many as we could, as fast as we could. Now, those prices have changed. Now the standard packs, the $10 ones, are over $100, between $100 and $400. And the premium packs, and I'll tell you the differences in a second. The premium packs are going for anywhere between $1,200 and $2,000 a pack. So it's a 20X. Now, again, on the original sale, you could only get one of each. But in the secondary market, and you need wax to do it, the token, you could get as many as you wanted. Okay, which is kind of cool. So we went in and we just loaded up. On day one, that's just what we did. Now, it keeps track of everything. So our total bought was 19,029.88 wax, which is, well, wax has appreciated since we did this. So, but this is the current value, $5,037. That's what we spent. Well, that's what he has an account too. So that's just on this account. So $5,000, which again, it doesn't break the bank, but for some digital baseball cards, it seemed like a lot at the time. It seemed. We asked ourselves, are we being stupid? And we said no, because look at all the people that got stupid good on the NBA Top Shots. And there's a lot more people. Well, there's a lot of people that love baseball. Let's just say that. Okay, so the total sold, I was recouping. So I sold two or three standard packs for anywhere between 50 and $100. So I got like a 2X back on those. They only had six, I believe it's 6 cards in each pack. And the chances of getting a rare, a super rare. So the rating system is common, uncommon, rare, super rare, epic, epic exclusive. And so ideally you want as many epic exclusive low numbers as possible. Great. So that gives you kind of the breakdown of how the cards work. When in this, you have a 3 times higher chance in the premium packs of getting the rare, super rare, epic and exclusive epic cards. And you get 45 cards a pack. So it made a lot of sense for us to just keep buying the big ones. Does that make sense? The premium packs, even though they were more expensive, they were like And again, right around $300 when we were buying them. But let me show you why this worked. So I sold some of the standard packs. I bought a bunch of standard packs also, and I'm just slowly flipping those to recoup my investment on the premium packs. But the premium packs, I opened all of them except one, and I sold one. The one I sold, I told you, was like $1,200. But so my total sales is like just shy of 1,500. So I've recouped 1,500 on that. Okay. So I'm really only in this thing for about 3,500 and change. Now, yeah, I know I should have some theme music. Hold on. It wouldn't be suspense music though. It wouldn't be suspense. It would be kind of like, here we go.
People worry all the time.
We'll go here. So I'm 3,500 into this. Yes, you might say that is ridiculous. But look at this number right here, the estimated value of the account. So $14,637 or 55,150 wax. This was 1 week ago, y'all. This was last week we did this. This isn't months. This isn't years. This isn't buying a card. There's some bubble gum goo on it. You go sell it. You open it. You put it in a little plastic. No, man. Zero degradation. They're perfect. They're pristine. I can sell them in real time. And this tallies up. And check this out. The value here that it says, the 55,000 wax, the $14,600. That's not what I can get for them. That's the average low market sale. That's the lowest sale aggregate. I'll give you an example. So keep in mind, 14 grand is the value of my cards. Okay. But let me just scroll over a few to give you an idea. You see this Luis Robert? It's number one. Not number one of what it's the only, well, that's it. It's number one ever. This card averages $95. That's the average price. This one is listed for $9,900 for $10,000. So again, it's skewed on the low side. This account is probably worth 3 times this. Okay, easily. So this is probably a $45,000 or $50,000 account. 1 week ago, $4,000 invested. Just saying. So, there is only, you can do some very interesting math with this stuff. Now, again, this is a collector's market and, that goes up and down. But my guess is these things continue to go up over time because baseball. All right. We're going to get to our other stuff here, our good stuff in just a moment. For those of you that are watching Pro Cointelegraph, Parsec is making a run at least into the 90s. And you guys know what the 90s mean, at least as far as Pro Cointelegraph. But we're going to get into that, but not just yet. Let me say hello to everyone, to all the peeps. Let me see where this starts. I don't know when. Crap. When did the day start? I'm going to go. Okay, I'm going to find where I said, because it's a continuous stream with Theta. That's why I'm looking, and I look like a cryptard right now. I have to go and find where I said, see you guys later for tomorrow. And then it will be USD on Binance gets 8%. I don't know. I'm just going to go. Sound was muted. That was yesterday. Okay. Let me just say Crypto Gamer, TS Monkey, W Levitt, Scorpion, Andy Panda, Baykeeper, SJO, Theta TV, Get Involved, Stress Relief, JR80, Antonio, of course, the real J. Cole, Sniper Princess, Troublemaker, Joe Pirate, and W Wood HK, Solid Gold. Oh, you and your damn Doge memes. Damn you, Zach. Let's see, Gordon Bennett, S2K Hobo, Belinda Castley, Theta Investor. Cool. I like that. Theta Investor. Video Tuber, Ocean Dawn. Good to see everyone. They haven't put gum in cards since the 80s. Well, I don't know because I never got to buy them because my parents were like, don't touch those things. They've got gum in them. And I was like, ugh. Why would you put gum on card? Why would you put a sugary whatever? Anyway, I was always I actually collected a lot of basketball cards. I was I was mostly Upper Deck and some Donruss, but mostly just Upper Deck. I like those. Yeah. Okay, let me see who's over here on. Scott Hill, numero uno in the house. Ryan, what up? Trey, what's up, Trey? Antonio, of course. Expat Matt, P. Kelly, and Lover Boy, all that 1985. I feel like there's a Back to the Future reference buried in there somewhere. Ella Paul, Pablo, Emmanuel, what's up, Emmanuel? Ashley and Dave. Phil, don't drive into oncoming traffic. Phil is always driving when he listens. Don't crash, Phil. Don't crash. Beach Girl. Bill, what's up, Bill? Bernard, Brady in the house. Wow. And for those of you guys that aren't paying attention, watch their show tonight. We were going to do a two-parter where we're going to do part one of the show right now and part two of the show whenever, I'm going to text him, whenever Jerry gets around to it. Where, pray tell, is the Jer? Anyway, hello, Jerry. You're wanted in makeup. Tube That Pipeline, JJ, Sunil, Chris. What up, Chris? Tom. Let's see. Tanaya. Hello, Tanaya. If my pronunciation's not egregious. Tom Grieve, Jim, Wojtek, Lawrence, Joe Fernandez, ¿Qué onda? Nesh. What up, Nesh? Expat Matt. His own theme music. Jerry does need his own theme music. And a background. You guys watch Jerry's show? Great show. No background. Come on. You know what? That falls on you, Brady. That's you. Oh, and by the way, we're going to start broadcasting Jerry's show on this channel on Theta. So Friday evenings, the show you'll be able to watch the show right here on this thing in Theta. So there you go. So Jerry and Brady will be coming to you live. Adam, Dubai Money, Fishing Magician, Patrick, I'm bringing in, finally, Jerry decides to show up. Let me get the audio set up so Jerry can participate. Bam. Jerry, what's up, man?
Dude, had a little issue with the Costa Rican internet, but other than that, things are pretty good. I will tell you and the audience, I'm on hour 40 of a water-only fast, and I'm not going insane. But I will tell you, after this show, 2 eggs and some avocado will be on the agenda.
Bam. So we're going to have some fun today. We're going to talk some, it's going to be kind of a crypto Q&A. We noticed that we get a lot of questions. So we're just going to kind of focus on your questions, but I am going to take you guys through. A lot of people are like, what's the difference between AGI and the Singularity DAO? Singularity token, Singularity DAO token. So I'm going to clear that up for everyone, and you'll realize I think there's a lot of money to be made in the DAO token, and if you live outside the United States, you might want to participate. So, yeah. Oh, it won't let me do it directly. Okay, you'll need a MetaMask address to validate that you owned. I'll get into it. Sylvia, what's going on? And I think we got everyone. Fishing Magician, McCabe's, and then Scott. Okay, we got all the Scotts. We got Mark. Great. Let's go to our non-commercial break, and we will be right back using our words. Okay, real quick. I'm trying to do 2 things. Sometimes it lets me, sometimes it doesn't. I'm trying to play a little background music and have Jerry. Now, we can't do both, which means the music would have to go. But if there was a little background music, see, Jerry's being funny now, because whenever people do their lips like that, they're just being funny. But in the comments, let me know if you guys hear a little bit of background music. If so, I've solved my original problem and I figured out how I did it. Okay, Jerry probably can't hear it.
Oh, I can hear it.
Can you hear some background music?
I hear what would be maybe described as noise, but there is definitely something going on in the background.
Is it noise? Okay,
My
cool.
soul's in your portfolio.
There we go. Yes. These are my homies. This is Laikipia. And it basically is the closest place to Wakanda. The only difference is there's no magic and there's no spaceships and monkeys attack. And I'm not joking. And none of that is hyperbole. Anyway. Okay. Let's do this. We're going to talk about Singularity DAO Token. We're talking about preparing for the weekend. We're talking about sell-offs, margin, or any questions you guys have. We're not going to prejudice these conversations. Only thing I do want to make sure is that you understand what the F the Singularity DAO Token is. Let's real quick. We're not going to do a price breakdown. You guys know everything's up because your accounts look good. You guys have got bloody thumbs probably from checking your Blockfolio. But it is interesting to see when you take all that data and put it in the machine and churn it out, what it looks like. So for many of you, Parsec is had a good run. So myself and a few people played the Matic play, and it was yet again another play that was good for 25%. More than that, actually. I think we knocked out 40%. Matic was a 91 or 92 2 days ago. It was Tuesday we did that. Anyway, point is, we did it. The Vortex score continues to deliver. Now, doesn't mean it will ever deliver again, but so far so good. Parsec is now the bell of the ball. It's at a 94. It's at $1.89. The price hasn't actually moved that much, which means it's probably ripe. I don't like them when the price has already gone 9,000% and you're trying to jump on and grab a quarter. It can be real sketch. Anything on this list excite you, Jerry? Parsec, Axie Infinity, which, by the way, AXS, Axie Infinity keeps coming up. Phantom keeps bouncing around. Uniswap, of course, is Uniswap. Sushi, bleh. KuCoin shares continue to grind upward. We've been watching KuCoin shares since they were about $7, continue to make the list in the 80s. It never cracked 90, but it's been just grinding higher. Any of those things excite you, Jerry?
I'll be honest, I'm not really hip to a lot of those things. I'm still trying to wrap my mind around a macro framework and incorporating my best guess for where this market's going and what will take off. And so it's been a lot of AGI, Fetch, looking into the Singularity DAO and understanding how that's going to play a role in governance and DeFi going forward. I mean, there's so much, Nick, to this space that it really takes a bunch of us to try to even get some kind of coherent direction. You know what I mean? It's a big friggin' space, man. So no, I wouldn't know two things to say about any of those things that you mentioned.
The only one I would say is, when you look at KuCoin shares, and again, it's in the 70s, it's not a buy. But it's not a buy. If you believe in the greater expansion of this space and you think KuCoin is an exchange that will survive, and all these exchanges are getting into ICOs now. You don't have to be on some special list anymore. You can just Gate does them all the time. You don't have to be a part of CoinList. CoinList is an absolute dumpster fire poop show. I would stay away from CoinList. They have outages. I have this one alert thing. Many of you may have it too. And it alerts you every time there's some kind of problem, some technical problem at CoinList. I get like 17 emails a day. Ethereum transactions are paused. Bitcoin deposits are on pause. Bitcoin, I'm like, Jesus, man. They spend more time typing in their trouble reports than actually whatever. Anyway, I'm out on CoinList. But I do, if you look at these exchange tokens, and the exchange tokens continue to go up, I mean, it means people are either excited about those exchanges or those tokens have found some function in the system, whether it's to alleviate fees, whether they're doing some organized burn like they do at Binance, which is a sketchy way of doing it, or whatever.
Let me ask you this, Nick. So with KuCoin shares, what specific properties does it bring holders who are using KuCoin as an exchange?
So reduced fees for trading, and it gets them to very competitive fees. And then the other thing is it gets you access to initial coin offerings.
Oh,
So it's kind of cool. Am I buying KuCoin shares? Well, probably not. And the only reason I'll say this is because I don't use KuCoin all that often, but I do use it. It's just not something that I leverage a lot. I'm not like in the KuCoin community enough for it to be a thing. Let me say hello, Dan P. Kelly, Ella Paul, Leon, what's up? Candace and Bobby, of course, Alvarito and Optics, CC Brown. I think we got everyone. Cool. Okay, so that's what's going on there. And all that means is when you look at the Vortex score, it's a measure of a bunch of things. It's Twitter volume, price change, trading volume, historical data going all the way back, looking at the trading action around the token. And when it had reached these metrics, it gives it this gross score. In this case, Parsec, PRQ, which is Parse IQ, actually. That's what the IQ is. Anytime that this is what I've determined, and again, they have a really vibrant Discord where they discuss each week how the trading scenarios worked. There are time-based strategies, okay, and there are score-based strategies. The time-based strategy revolves around you pick a number that it hits, and then you hold for a certain amount of time. The general consensus is 90 or better is a buy for 168 hours. What does that mean? You buy it, hold it for a week, and sell it, period. What we do, me and a couple of my homies and a couple of my clients, is we buy it and we either look for 25% profit, in which case we sell our original investment and keep the free tokens, or we'll let the week play out. That's how we've been playing that little game. Now, that's the time-based strategy. The score-based strategy is you buy it anytime it breaks 90, in our case 90, because I think that's the safest way to do it. And when it drops below 65, for any reason, you sell it. And there's a variety of reasons why that drop in price. And listen, a drop in number doesn't always doesn't mean a drop in price always. And a rising number, a rising a rising vortex score doesn't always mean a rise in price. It just means that statistically, when the token fit this variety of metrics, it was time to buy. Does that make sense? That's the easy. Okay. Crypto pronunciation. All right. You also get a little profit sharing with KuCoin. Oh, that's right, Demayan. Good point. So the KuCoin shares push back a little bit of the profit to the peeps.
You know what? Let's explore this just for a minute. So I hearken back to a time about 2 years ago, and I remember when Binance put out its BNB and pennies, and I went. This was my thinking at the time. I don't use Binance enough to concern myself with it, right? However, now I have a much kind of different macro view of this space, and that is that I honestly believe it's 100% certainty this space is going to explode, although I cannot generally identify specific winners in the space, right? So getting some exposure to platforms that are providing access to this space to the world makes sense. I don't know if it's a huge allocation, maybe somewhere in that utility coin allocation space, 15% of your total portfolio into plays like this. But what do you think? I mean, Nick, are we talking about a play on the overall space itself and not on a specific project?
Yeah, I think all of these KuCoin, that's probably the perfect way to say it. It's a space play. You're going long on exchanges, period. So what you probably do is have a basket.
Yeah.
And you say, I'm going to dedicate 5% of my portfolio to the greater exchange good. And that would be, BNB, even though who knows if that dude stays out of jail, but you would still get BNB because it's really performing well. So you go BNB, KuCoin, Gate, BITTREX has a token. You would just get them all.
Yeah.
Maybe not the BITTREX one. But maybe
true. I mean, there's a bunch of them.
There's a bunch of them. So you just put together a small portfolio. That'd be an interesting thing. I'd love to see how that tracks against the greater market. It's the picks and shovels play of exchange action. And there's liable to be a lot of M&E in this space. These legacy players, the banks, they're going to come in and buy some of these exchanges. I just feel like it's coming. Anyway, we'll see. Okay. Seb, what's going on? Kevin Broadway, Fwang, went to the moon. And yeah, I think we have mentioned everyone. All right. Let's talk about this coin. Let's talk about this cone. Let's talk about this Singularity cone. Not that. You don't need that. Okay. So one, I like Blockfolio, but when you take a Blockfolio link and put it to the interwebs, you get some weird kind of thing where it gives you kind of part of the action. So whatever. Singularity Net, it's up again. The DAO token is coming. So I'll read you the little article and then we'll go to the actual article. So basically Singularity Net AGI, which we've been talking about AGI quite a bit. It's an AI play, an AI marketplace. Ben Gortzel, the man, the myth, the legend, who is very much tied into Cardano because AGI will be porting over to Cardano. There'll be an AGI Cardano token. Matter of fact, and we'll talk about the Africa, announcement yesterday. It's kind of official. The partnership with the government of Ethiopia to onboard 5 million students as a start. 5 million students to an identity system, which is pretty cool because I believe that's just the beginning of something. Ethiopia has 110 million people. That's a third of the United States. I don't think people catch that. This isn't like some little small nothing. This isn't Venezuela. This is a lot of people. Anyway, I think it could be really good. Singularity Net, AGI spinoff, Singularity DAO. So it's a separate token. We'll revolutionize. I don't know if it'll revolutionize. We'll see. DeFi by leveraging AI at multiple levels. Now, this is where it starts to sound tasty. This is where we get back into that idea of AEAs, autonomous economic agents. So exactly. Some features include dynamic portfolio valuation and planning, predictive market making to provide liquidity for token sets on DEXs, predictive modeling based on hedging strategies, and more. Sound delicious? All right, Singularity DAO, what is it? AI-powered DeFi portfolios. A diverse bucket of crypto tokens controlled by cutting-edge artificial intelligence, now made available to you through AGI Community Governance Generation event. This is an event I'm going to post. If you're in the United States, you're going to have to talk to somebody outside the United States. But here is I'll put it in the comments here. You guys will be able to get it in the Theta comments. I'm going to put it, but I have to separate the www, but you'll get it too. So I would take a look at Singularity DAO, SingularityDAO.ai. Take a look, subscribe to the newsletter, right? So easily managed portfolio DeFi tokens from one simple place. So DeFi has always bothered me because I always thought, what happens at 2 a.m. when I'm not awake and the whole thing gets rug pulled? But my guess is if it was managed by AI, it would be less likely to just disappear overnight or to have some massive liquidity unwind. What do you think about that, Jerry?
Well, I don't have a lot to say about the specifics, but I honestly believe that a artificial intelligence economic actor that is programmed with your particular goals and criteria in place is going to do a much better job managing your digital interests than you are. Right? So yeah. Whoever builds the DApp or whoever creates the toolkit so a knucklehead like me can sit down and easily enter the criteria for the code that I want executed, it's game-changing stuff here.
So another thing that's cool about this, and a lot of people don't get it, let me just read the executive summary because that's the basics of this is what it be. But you're going to be able to use this once you're in these kind of using this DAO token. You'll be able to point liquidity at new projects. Basically, get in on non-ICO ICOs. Does that make sense? You'll be able to go, I want to invest in this one. I want to invest early stage projects before they've even, as they're just forming. That's kind of cool. Singularity DAO is a decentralized blockchain-based organization with the main goal of governing Dynasets, diversified baskets of cryptocurrency assets dynamically managed by AI. Voting power in Singularity DAO is granted by the Singularity DAO Token, SDAO. Singularity DAO brings the sophisticated risk management strategies of AI managed funds to DeFi using Singularity Net's superior AI technology. The DAO allows users to vote on proposals using liquid democracy, also known as delegative democracy. In effect, this means users can vote directly on proposals or take a more hands-off approach by delegating their token's voting power to someone else to vote for them, like Jerry. The DAO will control in a democratic way which Dynasets are on the platform. It will also have the power to make changes to the economic variables and protocols of the platform, or even amend governance protocols. Proposals can be tabled only by the Singularity DAO team at first, with the power being decentralized to the community of token holders progressively over 5 phases. The white paper describes the mechanics of the Singularity DAO governance protocol. Please also read our Singularity DAO platform white paper, which can be found at blah, blah, blah .ai, singularityDAO.ai. Anyway, I'm not going to read the white paper, obviously, but you should, and you should take a look at it. To me, this looks pretty exciting. I'm a boring person, but to me, this looks exciting. Okay.
Now, I believe let's also throw in the little deal here. There's a chronology to this. So if you own AGI and you have it in your own MetaMask and that type of thing, it cannot be on an exchange. But if you have like a Ledger or your MetaMask or any of the other eligible non-platform wallets, May 13th, or so I guess May 12th, midnight UTT time, will be the snapshot. And they have this kind of elegant little airdrop rollout for this that I think is going to be really, really interesting. And I encourage everybody who's interested in this to prepare themselves and get their AGI off of exchanges and into some qualified snapshot wallet so that they can enjoy the free airdrop.
Yeah, so you get these tokens. There's 2 ways to get them. You may buy them through the token sale, or you may earn them as an airdrop. And there's going to be 3 more stages of airdrop over the next few months, once a month. And once a month. Now, the cool thing, 5% of the total DAO tokens are just going to be airdropped. Poof. Yeah, snapshot was on 16th. Yes, they did, but they're going to do a snapshot every month. So just because you missed month 1 doesn't mean you missed the others. Anybody can get in and still get 3/4 of the free tokens. So,
and thank you for that, Ryan. I wasn't aware that the first snapshot had already taken. What I read said May 12th.
Yeah, so May 12th is the second of 4 snapshots. So bing, 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 bing. They're also doing the token sale. And that's going to be for, I think, another 20% of the tokens. So in total, by the end now, if you do the token sale, they're not going to all be made available to you, but you're buying them at 20 cents. I think you're limited to 25. I'd have to look at the limits. I think you may be limited to 2,500 tokens.
Wow.
25. They made it. I mean, they have these tiers based on how much AGI you own. So the more, if you want to buy the Singularity DAO token at the token sale, you need to own some AGI. Good places to get AGI. KuCoin, good liquidity. And that's the only place I've ever bought it. There are other places. I just have used KuCoin. That's where I go. It's got good liquidity. At least for me, it's had good liquidity. That's not what Ryan, I don't think that's the truth. I don't think that's the case. They restructured the airdrop. So yeah, I think everybody, if you missed the first one, you can still get in on the other ones.
That I'm pretty sure too. They were very clear about that. Also, Binance, believe it or not, Binance Global, the CZ Binance. Yeah. It's got a very nice liquidity thing going for AGI. It's a AGI BTC pair. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course they're going to have great liquidity. So there you go. That's cool. So yeah, let's pay attention to AGI. For those of you that were fetch curious and you were trying to figure out, okay, let me preface this. There are two ways to stake fetch, FET, the token, okay, which is the other AI token we've been talking a lot about. I don't want anyone to run out and do this because there are a bunch of steps here and there are many places along the way where you can F up, but I would be remiss if I didn't at least expose you to it. You can validate / stake at fetch.ai. Okay. That's the easy way. That's what I am doing.
That's what I do.
There is another way. And you can go directly to validators and you can earn between, this is not a lie, 70 and 75% APY. That is a S load. But there are some many tricky steps. I'm only going to go over this really quickly, not because I want you to do it, but because I want you to know that it is, for some people, probably an option. I don't want to do it because I'm uncomfortable with staking when my tokens are actually gone and and the validator can get slashed, right? Like with
and all
Ethereum.
you're sitting there is with a paper IOU from a guy who doesn't have some anonymous Twitter handle.
Yeah, I don't know, man. For me, I'm not super comfortable with that. It has nothing to do with fetch. I'm sure all the validators are wonderful validators, and I know it's game theoretical. I'm just not comfortable with it. But for some people, the score is worth the stretch. Okay, don't send tokens directly to Cosmos Station Wallet. Cosmos Station Wallet is a phone, and you guys know how I love phone-based stuff. I don't. But you can set up a Cosmos Station wallet. Why would you do that? Well, Cosmos Station, matter of fact, I wonder if I can pull it up. Cosmos.
While you're pulling it up, can I ask Ryan a question? Hey, Ryan, I'm absolutely 100% cool with being wrong. Can you put a link to the document or source material from which you're quoting if you missed the April 17th snapshot, you cannot participate in the next 3 AGI airdrops? And I'm not saying you're wrong. I would love to be wrong and get source material that substantiated my wrongness.
And actually, I'm on the Singularity DAO Telegram right now. And it says, dear community, we had an overwhelmingly positive response resulting in a flood of AGI token holders registering for the Singularity DAO governance token generation event. We're extremely grateful and amazed by the incredible success. We have noted that proof of residency step has caused a bottleneck in the process. After careful consultation with our legal, we've decided to remove this third step, meaning KYC verification will only require liveness and proof of identity. Interesting.
Proof of a pulse.
That's interesting. If you only have proof of residency step left pending, you will automatically pass KYC. Interesting.
I haven't done any of that. I haven't done anything KYC related for AGI or the Singularity DAO process.
So anyway, that's part of the KYC if you want to purchase the DAO token. This is not to get the airdrop. If you have the tokens, you're going to get the airdrop. This is just for the where you say where you live, you submit the document, blah, 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 blah. Okay, great. And anyway, so yeah, but there's a Singularity DAO Telegram. If you have questions, that's the best place to go. And as far as I understand, there were a lot of people that had their tokens locked away, like even on Binance, that were staking on Binance, and so they didn't get a chance to participate. So they basically reconfigured, and Anonymous says May 12th is the first snapshot of 4. Well, it wouldn't be the first snapshot, but it may be the first official snapshot. Why I say this is because the first snapshot already, happened. But they may have reconfigured that to start over, right? Who knows? But that's for the free tokens. That's not for what we're talking about, which is the actual Singularity DAO governance token sale, which is separate. Okay, I know it's.
Are you buying? Are you a buyer of Singularity DAO?
Yes.
You're a buyer. You're not
I
just
am a
gonna.
buyer.
You're not happy with the airdrop that you're gonna get. You
No,
want
because it's
more.
going to be dust compared to what I mean, this token's going for 20 cents. I'll buy as much of it as I can, as much of it as they would let me get.
You'll buy 5 for $1.
I'll take it.
What if it was 4 for $1?
I'll take it.
3 for $1?
As much as you can give me.
Wow. There, you heard it here first on Crypto and Coffee Live version 3 unsponsored. Nick is bullish on Singularity DAO.
I throw 100 at that.
Let's 3 simple reasons why. What is so compelling about Singularity DAO versus AGI as its main platform token?
I think exposure to DeFi is important, but I don't trust humans because they're scammy. They steal, they rob you at 3 a.m. They do all sorts of stuff. They CZ you. I don't want to be CZ'd. And I feel like this is the future of all finance. You know, finance will be managed by AI. And if I can get an early, foundational position before they build everything else around it, I think that's going to be worth a gazillion.
So this is a buy, hold, and dollar cost average along the way. So you're going to scalp something, get another job, right? I mean, you only got 4 jobs. You could fit another job in your work week.
Yep.
And you're going to, so initial allocation relative to a size of your portfolio. What do you think of 1% of your portfolio, 0.5% of your portfolio?
No, this is a 5%er for me.
Oh, dude, I have never heard you say that other than Cardano's some time ago.
Yeah, this is a big one.
Mostly everything is under 1%.
No, this was going to be a big one because
interesting.
And I'll also be exiting probably my 1-inch position. Yeah. I already skimmed it down, but I'm still way in the profit. I'll probably finish off my 1-inch because this to me is a better version of DeFi. And 1-inch has a lot of competition. And I think that, Uniswap, Burger Swap, Pancake Swap, Goose Swap, Nest Swap, Swap, all these forks, that's all they are. They're just photocopy forks. I think they probably start to diminish when you have autonomous agent-driven swap platforms. We'll see. A good question. Can AI panic sell too? Well, I don't think AI can panic sell because it's not going to be smooth sailing. Let me not put anybody in the wrong light. This isn't a panacea for all things crypto. This doesn't fix DeFi. This is along the path of creating decentralized financial products that can be managed a step above humans, right? All of our best decision making without the emotion, without the bad stuff. So yeah, I mean, AI is coming, but does it mean it's going to be a smooth path? I don't think it will be a smooth path, but I trust that smooth path better than, the meerkat finance. Oh, it's all gone path, or the easy FI. Oh, we lost 80 million last night. No big though. We'll just fork the token. I don't know, man. That's what they're doing, by the way. We're just going to fork the token. Like, Jesus. So
what's interesting? The comment underneath that from Pablo, he says, Nick, forget price. How long do you think it'll take for AGI to deliver, right?
To deliver what, though?
Well, here's the thing. Artificial intelligence is already delivering, folks. And it's been delivering for years now. The largest companies on the planet have monster AI intelligence development teams. They spend billions of dollars in creating algorithms that push the stupid ads in our face on every available platform that will send an ad to us, right? Your Facebooks, your, Twitters, blah-bitty blue, blue-bitty blah. AI's been working, folks. It's been working for a long time. Let's not forget that. This is not a new futuristic thing. It's been happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Same new. So I'm pretty interested in see where it goes. But this is, and again, if Fetch comes out with these other projects, like I invested in MetalX, which is a Fetch.ai project. And Atomics, they're doing an airdrop on the Atomics tokens being airdropped to Fetch holders if you're staking with Fetch, and you just get it for being there as part of the Phoenix program. So that's kind of how they're going to do it. So I'm excited in that. in all of those projects, to a degree, if the project makes sense, I would probably take a position in them, little positions, right? Because then it becomes about dApps, and dApps are tiny investments. But the infrastructure plays right now, there are really only two. And the two real infrastructure plays, as far as I understand, is Fetch and AGI. And if you want to say infrastructure DeFi or platform DeFi, I'm probably Singularity DAO. I don't know of any other legitimate plays. So I want to have a meaningful portion of my portfolio. I'd say up to 10%, maybe 15% of my portfolio in the AI space, because I think it will pull a Cardano and it could do 100x from here, or it could do nothing. Right? There's nothing means nothing. There are no guarantees. We don't know. We're just trying to make as educated a guess as we can over where the hockey puck's going to be a few years from now. This is the opposite of staring at green candles and looking at every price pop and trying to catch it. And that's one way to do it. And people do make money trading like that. But again, it's like being a criminal versus being a cop. Criminal has to get lucky every single time, or you get your face melted. And I get a lot of emails over the weekend. Hey, man, I'm over leveraged. What do I do? I'm like, oh, here we go. So these kind of things just happen. And so I would say if you had a choice between being a trader, which we know is statistically difficult and most traders fail, or being an investor where you have a poker hand and you get infinite amount of days to cash that hand in. You just wait till it's a winning hand. I would be an investor. And the way I would define it, and Jerry, you might have a different way of defining. I define a trader as anybody making a super, like a 1 second trade all the way up to just short of a year. And an investor is willing to sit on an asset for a year or more. How do you kind of break down investor versus trader?
Well, it's, here, simple. It contextually, it is a trader does not give a flying F about the ticker symbol itself, what it stands for, who the people are. They don't care. They're doing other things. They're trading sentiment, momentum, blah, 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 blah. And it's about generating X, right? Whether it be 5%, 10%, 15%, 20%, doesn't matter. That whole thing you did in the beginning where you went to Coinbase, Cointelegraph, Super, whatever, and talked about the strategy. That's a trading strategy. That's a trading strategy. It's not about a long-term investment in a project that you think is going to fundamentally change the world. And there's nothing wrong with that. I just tend to not do those kind of things because I have limited resources, and what I put my money into, I want to sink it there for a while and try to get, yield on it while it matures.
Mass Palomas, I'm not ignoring you. I just don't know anything about that token. I can't really talk about it. So since I don't know about it, I just can't talk about it, but I'm not ignoring it. It hasn't been on my radar. Yeah. Listen, a lot of these tokens are going to transition over from Ethereum based tokens. Fetch and AGI are Ethereum tokens right now, ERC20. They won't be forever. Again, AGI will be a Cardano token here in a few months. So talk about fees going to dust. You'll be able to stake, unstake, move them around for, pennies instead of $50, $80, confirm the transaction, sign the transaction, 17, just all this Ethereum. It is awful, dude. Ethereum sucks, man. And what sucks even worse, it's like an investment that you have to light on fire every time you move other tokens around. Oh, I had some Ethereum, but I did some other transactions and it's all gone now. F-U-E-T-H. Footh.
I'll tell you what it has done, though. We got to give it some credit, right? You got to give ETH credit. What a proof of concept.
Mm-hmm.
It has shown the world there are capacities beyond store value and whether it be what you call it, a remittance capacity or capability. It's been a wonderful proof of concept in that regard.
It's been kind of the ultimate proof of concept, I'd say. I mean, there's a lot of things not to like about Ethereum, but it's kind of shown us that it's important. It proved that it's legitimate. And, Scorpion has a good statement. I'm a trader in the stock market because I don't trust it long term, but I'm an investor in the crypto market. So I like that. There's the most. Okay.
Scorpio. What a stud.
Jerry, what do you think about this? Now, we talked about it a little bit with Jeff and Emil. I haven't really gotten your thoughts on it. What happens in June and July when the free money ends? For most people, the extra check, the state check, the federal $300, the state unemployment, all that ends at the same time as people have to start paying rent again or get evicted or renegotiate, at the same time as home mortgage forbearance ends and homeowners have to start paying money or get out or get evicted or modify those loans. What does that mean for the YOLO buck to you?
It's the end of the YOLO buck.
That's what I think.
It's the end of the YOLO buck. Now here's the thing though, and I don't think that we're going to just see this in the crypto market. I think that is going to be pervasive throughout, right? I think your equity markets, your crypto markets are all going to have some repercussion of those particular timelines coming to their convergence, that like you talked about. Because at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, if you can't feed yourself or your family, nothing else matters. Nothing.
I didn't want to say it, but Crypto Tweet, you basically read the back of my brain box. I would not be long a lot of, and I'm saying even some of the assets on this list that I think are pretty good right now, I'm going to start paring down a lot of these positions way down in May. And by the end of May, my portfolio is going to be about 8 assets, not 18, because I think the bad news is coming, man. And if you got to start paying rent and all the extra money goes away, and maybe you didn't make as much as you thought, and maybe the price starts dropping, what do you think is going to happen in some of these assets that really don't have a lot of value? And then what do you think happens on the other side of the balance sheet? You start sometimes selling your winners to pay for your losers. We could see a route in the crypto space that is ugly. I mean, like a Bitcoin to $35,000 kind of a dry up. And it could be a 2 to 3 week slow, downward, painful, where everybody starts coming out and saying, this is the end. It's over. Crypto didn't work. It failed. The experiment, blah, blah, blah. I think we could see a big shakeout. And the only place I think you'd be somewhat safe, oddly enough, there's a few assets, some of the less liquid assets, you're probably more safe because they just don't get traded all that often. Also, look at assets that are being staked. They are a little bit less likely to be unstaked and sold. So I think a big, gross, slow shakeout. I don't think this is going to be an overnight thing. I think it's going to be a big, slow, very painful, like sliding down a razor blade, and I don't know, man. But then I also think we're going to have a great finish to the, a great fall, a great finish to the year. But I think we have to shake the YOLO buck out of the market, completely out.
If you had to guess, what percentage of our market do you believe is the YOLO dollar?
Probably everything that came on from January forward.
Really? Okay, I don't see it that way. Interestingly enough, I would say I think there's a much larger proportion in the alt markets than Bitcoin. But Bitcoin is, it's getting real traction by real institutional players, and those guys are not the YOLO.
Right, but remember, I said from January forward, those guys were all technical buyers last year. They just
but I think there's buyers this year too. I think we're going to see wave after wave concurrently, quarter after quarter, as boardrooms make decisions and due diligence gets done.
I agree with you. But I think there's more, other than Bitcoin, because people aren't YOLOing into Bitcoin. Because what do you hear over and over, Jerry? I was going to get Bitcoin, but it's too expensive. People still don't understand you can buy 13 cents worth of Bitcoin. And so until that argument is made, it's all about what is the percentage return on investment. I tried to explain this to somebody yesterday. It was about the baseball cards. I'll tell you who it was. It was my buddy Steve. And Steve said, you should hold on to those cards for 20 years. I go, what are you talking about? I go, whatever performs better is what I'm going to hold on to. I said, if I can get a quick 10X on these cards and flip it back into Bitcoin and get another 10 to 100X on Bitcoin, I'll do that. He goes, no, because think how those cards are going to triple in value. I'm like, Steve, we got to use your maths now. Let's use all of your maths. If I have $1 and it does a 10X and I have another $1 and it does 100X, where would I rather be? And he's like, yeah, but the cards. I'm like, Steve, I could go back and buy the cards.
Right.
And have a 9X in my pocket. You know what, though? I'll give it to Steve. He owns Bitcoin. I made him buy Bitcoin. And it was begrudgingly. He's like, $8,000? This is outrageous. Yeah, it's not outrageous now, though, is it?
And the same thing can be said at $56,000 Bitcoin when it's sitting at 100 and 120,000. Here's the thing. It's converting from an old log line linear way of thinking to understanding networks, adoptions, and trying to have a openness to exponential thinking. Right? Because nothing before Bitcoin ever had a fixed cap, right? Communications networks didn't have fixed caps except for the total population of the planet. Amazon doesn't have a fixed cap because new consumers keep coming of age and getting into the workforce and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We've never had networks like this before. We've had networks, but not like this with fixed finite supplies. And it takes, it fucking takes some kind of rocket science math to try to work out how this is going to play out. I don't know, but I know it's going to be huge.
Yeah. So I guess kind of the long end of it. Now, Jerry, real quick, we're thinking about having a chat tonight. What are you going to be covering tonight in your show?
Well, I was hoping to have a continuation of this show. I thought we'd just do a crypto and coffee to market conversations crossover show where we just kind of pick up the same theme, and invite all your viewers to come tonight. I'll put a link to this show in the show notes of that show. We've got Adam from Texas Stakes, the Cardano block producer and delegator extraordinaire, going to be joining us tonight. I also put out, believe it or not, an invitation to Jungle Inc., who made a comment in Twitter and asked what the show's topic was tonight. And I just, one of the things that I'm thinking about here is to stop. I got to stop getting specific on coins and keep my mind macro oriented. And that is, the space is a winner. Don't get caught up in the minutia, right?
Yep.
Which is that whole separate all the noise. The signal is the trend.
Don't miss the forest for the trees.
Bada bing, bada boom. And so that's what we're going to carry on the conversation tonight. And we always got wonderful insight from people that come in at the end of the show, community members, and of course, producer extraordinary Brady, who always brings something different. You know what I mean? Brady and I are not the same dude at all. So when he brings something, it's completely different from where I was coming from. And I think it adds a nice flavor. And having you on tonight, Adam, is going to be great. So I'm really looking forward to it. It's 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific on the Jerry V. Hall YouTube channel.
And for those of you that are on Theta and you're like, can I watch on Theta? Yes. because we're doing the theta integration. So right here on this channel, you're going to see Jerry, V, Hall, and Brady and the whole bunch live Friday nights. So that's kind of fun. Get paid to watch Jerry.
Watch Jerry shrink. What am I, 28 days into a keto diet and 40 plus hours into a fast. You can see my wonderful girlfriend in the background cooking me my eggs and creating my little eggs and avocado breakfast that I'm going to smash the second I get off this live stream.
Well, let's not keep Jerry from his egg smash breakfast. We will see you tonight. Don't do anything, my poor insolvent drunk, strung out on meth, doing rails of coke, drunk, high as a kite, smoking water, PCP, angel dust driven grandmother wouldn't do. And man, she's got her face buried in a mirror. I got to see if she fogs that thing up just to know she's still alive.
Pura Vida.
Hey, this is the Profit with Nick Black. It's time to chit chat. You know nothing about blockchain. We here to fix that. You want the news on them new stocks? This where you get that. So go and grab you a nice chair. It's time to sit back and talk to Profit. Hey, hey, you talking to the Profit? Hey, hey. We talking condos and nice clothes and dropping Lambos. I remember them night codes, we couldn't stand those. We tried to drive on them house roads, but had to stay low. Now there's solutions to hard bills we couldn't pay for. I talked to Profit to get some profit, we couldn't change the top. If it's a stock and I need to cop it, I wait for him to drop it. Ain't no option, let's get it popping. We chilling in the trap. I need some crypto, put it in my pocket. By any means I rock. This is the Profit with Nick Black. It's time to chit chat. You know nothing about blockchain, we here to fix that. You want the news on them new stocks, this where you get that. So go and grab you a nice chair. It's time to sit back and talk to Profit. Hey, hey, you talking to the Profit. Hey, hey, you talking to the Profit.
It's all fake news. It's phony stuff. It didn't happen.